Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I only have 3 of these figures to talk about this time, and yet, this is going to be the most difficult What's the Best I've ever presided over. I have done a What's the Best or 2 on figures that aren't even supposed to be the same characters. And still, I have yet to run into figures more different in all ways than the 3 I'm reviewing today. Every last one of these is going for something so entirely different, this format is completely unsuited to be the one used to judge them. But it's my brand, so let's do this! Also, 3 What's the Best in 7 days? You lucky people. Starting off with Generations Arcee. One thing that's been bothering me for a while now is after all the criticism I've given the Earthrise Arcee, people keep telling me that there's never been a good figure of Arcee, so why be upset at Earthrise? And aside from that being a stupid argument, seriously? We've never had good before, so why should we want good? Seriously? Anyways, aside from that being a stupid argument, what the fuck are you talking about? I have a fantastic Arcee right in front of me. This figure's been out for over half a decade. Do you all just not know about this figure, or are you taking some kind of issue with it that I'm not? And if you are, you call me the pessimistic one? Anyways, this thing looks fantastic. You might notice I have the Takara version here because I wanted one that looked more like the show model, though I do think the Hasbro version does have cooler colors. The face on both are pink, and I know in some shots of the series it's supposed to be that color, but in most it's just a very light gray. I would have preferred that. Her backpack is big, but I've seen bigger. I had to get this on eBay a while back for 60 bucks. It used to hold the record for the most I've spent on a deluxe, and don't worry, you won't be wondering for too long. The current record holder will be my very next review, though feel free to guess what it will be in the comments until Wednesday. Hell, if you see this video first, and it's like years from now, go ahead and guess before you watch the next one. So, there are people who say Arcee's design is too sexy, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly. This is a pretty typical girl body. There are other types, of course, but this isn't some mythical body type that only exists in fantasy. I see women like this every time I'm let out of my cell and into public. But I am willing to concede one point. Why does she have a belly button? This feels creepy as hell. This is the one detail that is just beyond the pale and becomes weird to include. And the whole hip section looks incredibly human, so I do at least see where they're coming from in this instance. Anyways, posing on this is actually quite good for a figure with feet like that. This thing stands better than other bots with feet 20 times its size. These things are so dainty, and yet they are rock solid on the ground. I think that's probably because she's so light. Normally, I'd feel like we got cheated on material quality, but 1, it seems more like a conscious design decision to enable her to remain steady, and 2, even so light, she doesn't feel flimsy. She poses better than most girl bots, that's for sure. Transformation is great. It's nice and quick, and it has most of her body become the car, so I can't fathom why the masterpiece is going to have her be a shelf warmer when this literally looks like it's going to show up that design, and this was $20 back when it was on shelves. Am I the only one this weirds out? Because this really unsettles me. Anyways, you end up with this sweet little Pinkmobile. No joke, if this were in a color that I liked more than pink, I would not be ashamed to drive this around. Not much else to say about it. This is a car, it rolls well, and if you try to tell me there aren't good figures of Arcee, you're just wrong. Alright, big titty bird and icy. Honestly, since the first time I reviewed this figure, it's grown on me. I think this is actually better than I was giving it credit for, though I do still stand by that video and the fact that you are going to like this based on the anime bullshit or not. I still don't understand why I like the look of this so much when it does everything as wrong as possible in my book, but I do. God, I still do. There are a lot of options with the look of this figure that I didn't cover in my original video. For instance, you can remove part of the backpack and even do stuff like attach those parts to the hips like sheets. But I'm not going to do that because it sounds like work and I legitimately do not care. The head's still disappointing. I want this to look like Arcee. Generic anime girl robot is just not what I think anyone wants, and I'm still not putting on the climax face. And I'm still confused why the faces can swap when the heads are identical. Posing is as good as it ever was. This is a really dynamic figure, capable of a lot of really cool stuff. The feet are only about as big as the Generations figure, and they're not that much less stable. It's harder to make her look dumb than it is to make her look cool. There are not many good synonyms for the word look, and none that fit into that sentence. A smarter person would have rewritten the entire line, and a me person would just leave it as it was and complain about it to the audience. Transformation still sucks audibly from across the street. Insert joke about this figure looking like it's good at sucking. I hate this transformation so much, and I'm good at it. It's not the worst transforming thing I have, but damn does this thing not want you to have a good time while you do it. That's what she said. Anyways, you end up with another sweet car. This one's even cooler than the last. Put in some chrome blue and I'd be happy to be seen driving this thing. Once again, it's a car, it rolls, I don't know quite what else to say. It's got an interior, too bad it's just kibble in robot mode. Magic Square Peach Girl. Oh my god, she's so fucking cute! Wait. Oh my god, they're so fucking cute! Do you see what I mean when I say that these figures are all nothing alike and the format is not prepared to handle talking about them? This is the cutest goddamn thing. Fun fact, this isn't mine. This one actually belongs to my brother because the USPS lost mine. It says they delivered it, but it wasn't in the mailbox like it was supposed to be, and it's not like it got stolen because I saw the mail get delivered, and so I don't know how the package could have been stolen by the time I walked down to the mailbox with any thief choosing to leave behind the rest of the mail. Sorry for venting on you. I just really want my Peach Girl. My brother got this so he could do the Kevin Hart meme with his big spring. Anyways, god damn, this thing is cute! From the big head to the expression to the adorable little shoes, this thing is super cute. The one problem with this thing is the gray plastic is too dark. This would look so much better with a significantly lighter shade of plastic or a white paint job. For being what it is, this thing poses great. You can get it into a huge swath of postures that accentuate the adorableness. Her one real problem is the geometry of her legs really gets in the way of letting you move them forward, and they kind of entirely invalidate the thigh cut. But I can't be mad at this. It's just too cute! Transformation on this is fun and solid, but it's a little worrying. There are some thin struts her joints go out on, and I can't say I'm confident in their ability to take a long twist. And there are some parts of the whole ordeal that are just a little finicky. Anyways, you end up with this adorable little squishmobile. I can't say that I'd be too enthused to be seen driving this. At the same time, pride is not a thing I have, and honestly, I might just take this out for a spin for the sheer stupidity of it. However, the back of this car takes the cuteness and makes it creepy. Another organic shape hanging out on a car. It is uncanny, and it is unsettling. Also, this doesn't roll good. Alright, so that was the video as I intended all the way up until yesterday. But there's going to be a special little addition here. Before you call me a hypocrite, know that I saw this on the shelf the day before recording this video and realized that I needed to do this for the review. And that I'm going to return it. And that I know the store policy is to throw away all returns. So really, it's like I'm putting a deposit on its destruction. Earthrise Arcee. I have talked mad shit on this figure without ever handling it before. I have complained and bitched about this to the point where it's almost become a staple of my channel. So now that I have it in my hands, is it as bad as I thought it was going to be? No. Because I didn't think I was going to hate this half as much as I do. This thing sucks so much worse than I ever thought it could. Get out of the fucking way, Clipjumper! You have been replaced as the worst figure from Earthrise. Without a doubt, by far and away, this is the worst figure I've ever bought. The worst figure, by far. Colors on it are terrible. It comes off as a much better pink on camera, and it's not all that different to the Generations figure, but while the difference is subtle, it is strong. It goes from being hot pink to being Pepto-Bismol. The face is white like I wanted from the other Arcee, but it's also uncanny as fuck. Why is it so long and bug-eyed? I just feel bad for her. Posability is fine, but one, what is with the wrists? This is not part of the transformation, and it's not all that useful of a joint compared to a swivel. Also, her hands look like Lego claws. And two, this joint wants to pop out for no reason. Transformation on this figure sucks. So bad. And you wouldn't think it could be all that terrible, but let me tell you. The Play-Doh feel with this one is off the charts, and this thing wants to fall to bits. This is a deluxe that takes me like 10 to 15 minutes to transform, not because it's so complex, but because nothing wants to do what it's supposed to, and it keeps falling in half. This is the most extreme shell former I've ever had the displeasure of dealing with, and yet, that doesn't even factor into why this transformation is no fun. I would have preferred it if the backpack couldn't come off, because at least then it wouldn't be a problem during the transformation. And fuck, this car mode sucks. You cheating bastards made the most egregious shell former of the last 20 years, and it doesn't even make the car look correct. It's still long as fuck. And it looks stupid. This looks so bad, and it rolls like shit too. I hate this thing so much, I kind of admire it. I kind of want to keep this, just so I can have a nemesis in my house, an enemy to battle till the end of time. So, what's the best? What's the worst is obvious. Not only is this the worst Arcee, I am now putting this as an honorary dead last on all what's the bests, because somehow this figure finds a way to be a worse Optimus Prime than it being a figure of Arcee, and not Optimus Prime, should make it possible to be. Anyways, how do I grade the three real members of this video? None of these are trying to be the same thing. Depending on how I order my criteria, any one of these is the best. What's the best representation of the classic Arcee? The Generations figure. What's the most quality representation of Arcee? The Nicey. And the Peach Girl has the best, most complex, most transforming transformation, the most endearing appearance, pretty much as good posing as the other two, and it is absolutely my favorite of the three. But all three of these are playing their own game, and as much of a cop-out as this is, at what each is trying to do, each is the best. Fuck the Earthrise Arcee. And that's not half of what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.